Live. And now we're live. And now we're live. Here on That's Good Broncos, where we're enjoying another Broncos victory, 32-27 over the Panties. I'm at Benchwarmer Brew. I'm here with Horsecock Lock. The Broncos get a victory. Don't know if that hurts or helps them, but it felt nice to watch them win. This podcast / live stream is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use code DNVR when you sign up at DraftKings to take advantage of them and their can't-miss offers. And also by my coffee company, benchwarmerbrew.com. We had somebody order 26 bags of coffee in one single order this week. He's going to get a big dick shout out on the best and worst episode.
Way to go.
Okay, Will, a lot to kind of talk about here. Drew Lock has a career game against a bad, very young Panthers defense. Melvin Gordon looks like the better running back again, and we see Pat Shurmur elect to run with Phillip Lindsay in some select situations a few times again. Brandon McManus misses a couple PATs. Brandon McManus tweets, Brandon McManus sucked today. So we already own that up. Don't need to criticize the Gooch Slayer. In this game, the Broncos controlled most of this game, but they let Carolina claw back in late. But overall, just a fun football game because we saw the Broncos offense score some fucking touchdowns today. 4 touchdown passes from Drew Lock. What are your thoughts?
Well, let's back up first because it's kind of gotten buried and it feels like it happened 10 years ago. But Deontay Spencer had the first kick return touchdown, as a punt return specifically, for the Broncos since 2015. Which is insane to think about.
Since 2015, eh?
It was Omar Bolden against the Colts. That was the last time they ran a kickback. I don't know how many they've given up in that span, but it has to be like 5, maybe 6 since then. But yeah, it's been forever. And it was a little weird. It was a little bit of deja vu because if you remember the last time we played in Carolina, they punted the ball to Trindon Holiday. Also number 11, and he took a punt back for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think I got
more legitimate.
I got that observation written down in the recap. 11 scoring punt return touchdowns. Trindon Holiday, of course, his only weakness was catching the punts. Deontay Spencer been great at catching punts. Been bad at judging when to catch punts and when to let them go into the end zone. He did a better job at that today.
Agreed.
Including anytime you score a special teams touchdown, that's nice. Carlos Alberto Diaz. Yes, we do send coffee to Mexico, just so you know. Okay. So, yeah, a special teams touchdown, that's a rarity because the Broncos' special teams have been questionable, dicey, bad all year long, and McManus has been the only good part of the special teams. Today, he was not good. So my whole theme for this season is every time the Broncos do something good, it's followed by something bad, or when something is formerly bad, it's good. But when that good thing switches from bad to good, another good thing goes to bad. And if you can't follow that, I don't blame you. Not everybody is as, quick-witted as I am. But that seemed to happen even in this game. Like the Broncos would score a big touchdown and then give up, something to the Panthers, or I'm in a good mood about it because ultimately the Broncos won. Had they lost this game, this might have been one of the more infuriating losses. But let's credit Drew Lock for throwing 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, did get blasted and fumbled a ball that resulted in a Panthers touchdown.
Don't fumble near Jeremy Chin. We told you.
Specifically.
It's simple. Don't do it.
I love when we're so dead on about something in our prediction episode.
Yeah, certain MVP of the NFL season, perhaps.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers coming back coming back at it. All Aaron Rodgers has to do today is not throw 3 interceptions like Patrick Mahomes, and he'll take the lead again. But in this game, Broncos Panthers, Broncos had to reshuffle their offensive line today. Garrett Bolles out with an illness. Noah Fant then left the game with an illness, so this illness must not be good.
COVID-20, perhaps.
Then they put Netane Muti at guard in place of an injured Graham Glasgow. They put Elijah Wilkinson at right tackle, then start Calvin Anderson at left tackle. So DeMar Dotson, who's usually been starting at right tackle, not there. So Locke's got to perform with an offensive line that's been shaked up. But this is a good game to do that because the Panthers have not been a great pass rushing team
they don't get
season. That. So I wasn't worried about the line really at all in terms of pass protection. Although I think that sack that they did give up where Locke was blasted and then fumbled, I think that was Netane Muti's assignment and he missed the blitz. It came in from the right side. I don't know whose fault it was, but maybe Graham Glasgow's in. That one play doesn't happen. But that was like the big miscue I saw. Other than that, they did a decent job. And really, Drew Lock had wide open receivers all day. And he recognized them and was accurate with them. So that's my takeaway.
Honestly, it's kind of bizarre to say this, but losing the 3 offensive linemen today, Bolles, Glasgow, and Dotson going left to right, was kind of a blessing in disguise today, at least, because it forced Pat Shurmur to call quick hitters, get the ball out of the hands quickly. They used Mute. I think it's pronounced Mute, but someone correct us. They used him in run blocks, pulled him around. He's a really good run blocker, questionable pass blocker, but you can kind of learn that. You can't learn how big and tough he is. He played really well. I thought Calvin Anderson played pretty well. I didn't notice anything off his side. Even Elijah Wilkinson was pretty good, but it forced them to think a little bit more conservatively. They got Drew Lock on the run, just kept hitting the tight ends on little bootlegs. And then eventually they found the deep routes when they were open. And I think it was kind of like I said, just like a blessing in disguise for the play calling. And I think they figured something out.
Yeah, I thought the play calling was definitely better. Here's what, everybody, on social media right now is trying to take a victory lap on the Drew Lock haters, which I understand. I think we've been pretty fair on Drew Lock. During his bad games where we've said, don't use this to write him off completely. And I have to feel the same way about his best game, which was today, in that I don't know how many games a season the Broncos receivers, ball catchers will be as open as they were against Carolina's secondary today. I mean,
but he was losing. He lost Noah Fant.
No, I know.
They're in the offensive lineman too.
I'm not shitting on him, Drew. I'm just Will. What I'm saying is when you have Nick Van Nett. Oh God, what is wrong with me?
Oh, Nick Van Open.
Nick Van Open. That's his new nickname. That's the best nickname he'll ever fucking
Troy
get.
Fuma catch ballsy.
Yeah. When you have Nick Van Nett open with nobody 5 yards around him in the back of the end zone, when you have Troy Fumagalli turn a screen pass into a 27-yard gain that takes the ball down to the 3-yard line, and KJ Hamler might be that open maybe pretty regularly if he's as good as we think he is with his speed. I'm not saying Drew Lock didn't make any tough throws. He had a great rollout on 3rd and 8 where the Panthers were breathing down his neck. He completes the pass to, I forget who it was.
I think it was Van Nett.
Yeah, I think you're right. Van Nett or Fumagalli, one of the two.
Same guy.
Yeah, basically the same player. Both known for their blocking, but I think it was awesome. Like, it felt good to see Drew Lock play great football against talent that I don't think is. I just don't think the Panthers defense is good. But I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but I'm not going to say I am 100% sold Drew Lock is going to be awesome for the rest of his NFL career. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to enjoy this victory. It's just, it's just one of those games where I think a lot of quarterbacks might have had a big game against the way Carolina played defense today.
Yeah, but you saw Drew Lock, I think, for the first time really this season get the benefit of like a really well-called game by his offensive coordinator. Like the benefit that, Patrick Mahomes or someone like that gets every single week.
That's fair.
And he hasn't had that. And you see, he didn't make any tough throws. He really didn't have to. And you shouldn't put any quarterback in a situation where they have to consistently make tough throws.
No.
And so they had the perfect game plan and executed it perfectly. And part of that is because the run game was working too. But we never expected him at this point to be, winning a game with tough throws all the way throughout. And you shouldn't put that on any quarterback, really. And so this is kind of like it's not going to be like this, for the rest of the season, for the rest of his career, but it's a blueprint for how to get the best out of him. And they did.
Let's see him do it against the Bills next week, right?
The big complaint, one of the big complaints this season was he can't hit a deep ball. 2 right on the money today.
Yes. 2 deep balls, both to KJ Hamler, I believe.
Quick decisions.
One not so on the money throw to Jerry Jeudy, where Jerry Jeudy made a great correction in his route to, I think it was like a 31-yard pass. But nobody was around Jerry Jeudy, so it's okay. It's okay, Will. Don't get upset.
He threw it off the back foot.
Yeah, he did throw it off the back foot. I don't think
fadeaway jumper.
I don't think he had to in that situation.
Maybe not.
Connor Mack, $4.99 super chat. My bench warmer brew is fire. Broncos need to win next week, and they are all safe for another year. Thank you, Connor, for buying my coffee.
It is very good. It's good coffee.
Will got his today. Bubba Fett, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Bubba. Boba. Ooh, we got Trevor Price, former NFL Bronco great. $5 super chat. Really enjoyable game to watch today. Excited for the rest of the season and next season. Also, Rodgers for MVP over Mahomes. Fuck yes, Trevor. One more super chat's coming in hot. One more super chat here. John, $5. Brandon, take a shot to celebrate the win. I can't, John, because I've got too much work to do tonight, and I had my whiskey share Friday night and Saturday night.
He'll share the video at the end of the night.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the videos. And Stephen Gibson or Steven, $5 super chat.
Steven, probably.
Am salty of the outcome because my Panthers lost and could have had a better chance, but good game. Yes, the Panthers did lose. Teddy got shit going in the second half. We've got.
I saw the leg dangling. I was like, "What happened to your baby?"
We've got a baby in the background. Good luck charm.
And my shirt was the good luck charm.
Oh yeah, Jess rocked her horsecock lock sweatshirt today.
Perfect.
And he had his career best. First time she's worn it this season, so I think she deserves a little bit of credit there.
And you're going to have to wear it the rest of the season.
Never take it off, Jess. I don't care how bad it starts to smell.
Okay.
I don't care how hot it gets.
Look at that cute baby. Oh, my daughter's so adorable. My daughter's so cute. Well, I'll tell you what. That girl is going to be so spoiled. She's going to turn into a real bee one day. All right. Drew Lock, 4 touchdowns. Been over that. I was about to talk about Teddy Bridgewater.
They're calling him. The Panthers fans. I like to venture over to the opposing team's subreddit, Panthers
yeah.
fans are calling him Teddy Bridge quarterback water.
Ooh, that's rough.
They don't much care for him. Not like I think you and I do.
Yeah, I think we respect that Teddy.
We respect him. He's not a big play guy, but we respect him.
You know, he had a rushing touchdown. It was a great design sort of QB draw there that started to get things going. Mike Davis, 2 rushing touchdowns. That's what got Carolina's, back into the game. It was the Broncos defense in the first half was lights out. Like, they held Carolina to a season low, I think 80 passing yard or 30 passing yards, 80 total yards. Second half, again, the Broncos were without Bryce Callahan, without AJ Boye. Duke Dawson gets hurt in the first quarter, and banged up defense kind of got exploited. It's like, I'm not going to blame the Broncos defense when most of their starters aren't playing for not having a good half. That kind of let the Panthers claw back in. And
with two real cornerbacks healthy at that point.
Yeah. We saw Devontae Bosby. Okay, so 2 things I want to talk about. Vic Fangio taking the PAT off the board.
Yeah.
And Devontae Bosby playing pretty well. He had a pretty solid game. He didn't play last week. I think the Broncos could have used him in the secondary last week. And so if you're going to credit the Broncos coaching staff this season for anything, it has been them getting more out of their defense, I think, than we expect every week. Like, they have coached the defense up. No matter who you throw in there, the Broncos defense has played well, has exceeded expectations. Yet the one guy they don't seem to realize helps the defense is Devontae Bosby. And it took another injury just to get him on the fucking field this week. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was the best corner out there today for Denver. I just don't understand that. It's like a paradox with a team that's so good at identifying talent and getting guys to play well. They can't do it with Bosby.
It's really weird. It's one of the great unsolved mysteries this season.
Yeah.
But he made a great tackle on the 4th and 8 play at the end of the game, which, may be fair to criticize Teddy Bridgewater for throwing a 2-yard drag route on 4th and 8 with the game on the line. So I understand if you're upset there. He played well.
He had another pass breakup somewhere. I forget. Yeah.
You just never see him he'll have passes completed against him. I think he got called for a penalty at some point today, but you never see him trailing, and you never see him look stupid. It seems like he's always got things in front of him, and he's a good tackler. But another guy I wanted to mention who played really well today for the first time this season, because it's the first time he's played for the Broncos this season, is Will Parks.
Oh, yeah.
Had a big sack in his first game, a couple other big hits. It's nice to see him back.
They got Will Parks back at the exact right time in terms of really needing another guy to be in the secondary. And I think his sack was like a 16-yard loss on Teddy Bridgewater. And it was right before halftime where, the Panthers are trying to run a 2-minute offense and get into field goal range. And that really ensured that they weren't going to score any points right before half.
It was half of what Patrick Mahomes lost on one sack today.
Yeah, that Mahomes sack was poetic.
That was music to my eyes.
And go figure, the Dolphins picked Mahomes off 3 times. More than he's thrown all season.
The Xavier Howard pick in the end zone was one of the best I think I've ever seen.
That one-hander?
That was incredible. He's got 9 picks this season. I think that corners used to do that a lot, but no one really throws interceptions anymore, except for, I guess, Drew Lock and Carson Wentz and Jameis Winston. I think that Jameis Winston not starting this year has been hard on corners everywhere. But he's having I don't want to say a Champ Bailey 2006 season, but man, he's been good.
No, he has 5 straight games with a pick. And then he had a streak of 4 games in a row with a pick earlier this season. He's just been phenomenal.
You just want to put Minkah Fitzpatrick on that defense right now. It's hard.
Ball hawks.
Yeah.
You get Minkah and Xavier Howard there, they would be balling. But they're going to benefit from the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade this next draft, right?
No, I think they already used their pick.
Did they already? Is it the Laramie Tunsil pick then? Yeah, because they get the Houston draft pick. So they get Houston's first overall pick from the Laramie Tunsil trade.
I think they might have gotten – it was either Austin – they might have gotten Austin Jackson straight up for the Tunsil thing, or it was Noah Igbenogany. I don't want to say the wrong word there, but yeah, it's a tough one. I feel like it was kind of a downgrade for – I don't know. They didn't use him correctly, so whatever.
Well, we got a Harry Fisher pack openings, $4.99 super chat with a horse cock locked emoji trio. Thank you, Henry Fisher pack openings. Is Cray $5 super chat? This is for the college fund. Good win, Broncos. Thank you, Is Cray. That college fund. I'm going to encourage my daughter not to go to college. I will give her an education in real life learnings. Kenneth Booker, super chat. The special teams had a great play. Doink. Yes, the Broncos special teams did have a great play. It was nice to see. We are about halfway into this live stream, which means I have to bring up, Will, that DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is wishing you the happiest of holidays.
Me?
And to kick off the season of giving, DraftKings has new promotions and odds boosts every day this week. The Broncos were dogs in this game, so if you bet on them to win, you probably won some money. Well, no, you definitely won some money if you bet on them to win, because they did win. That's how betting works. Football teams are in the hunt to secure their place in the playoffs, while college basketball season is just getting underway. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new players the chance to earn a sign-up bonus of up to $1,000 when using code DNVR when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook has endless ways for you to bet, from live betting to betting on your favorite players. They do it all. DraftKings is safe, it's reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money. Some places like to let you deposit, but when you want to withdraw it, they are not great. DraftKings, you don't have to worry about that because it's the top-rated sportsbook app. So download it now with code DNVR when you sign up to take advantage of their up to $1,000 matching bonus. That's code DNVR to get all the deposit bonuses of up to $1,000 for a limited time. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. You got to be 21. This is for Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first-time deposit bonus. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700. Will, what do you do when I read those? I know you tune me out.
My mind goes into another dimension. And then I'm always back right on time.
Okay, here's a super chat from Thomas Wolday, $5. I love Bosby, but some of the plays the Panthers got in the second half were on him. Maybe the calls were not helpful to him. That could be why. Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't watching who was responsible for the Panthers.
It was just going so quick. It was hard to tell who was getting beat. And they're kind of all getting beat, and it felt like the defense was, they're calling a little bit of prevent defense at that point, or Teddy was just in rhythm. I don't know. Robbie Anderson's really good, and I think we've said that all season in our best and worst, but the dude's very, very good.
Yeah, we said Panthers have an underrated pass ball catching receivers. DJ Moore didn't play. He was on the reserve COVID list. Dude, that's something I just can't keep up with anymore. It was like who is on or off the reserve COVID list. Okay, Vic Fangio taking the PAT off the board. It didn't cost the Broncos the game. in that situation, okay, so McManus misses 2 PATs. Then he makes one, but there's a penalty on the Panthers. So Vic Fangio elects to take the penalty, which moves the 2-point conversion from the 2 to 1 or from the 3 to the 1?
I moved it from the 2 to the 1.
Moves it from the 2 to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And then the Broncos do not convert. They try to throw a pass. Everybody was covered. Drew Lock actually made like the best possible decision in that scenario.
If you're going to pass there, by the way, like what does it matter if it's from the 2 or the 1?
That's exactly
it helps you if you're going to run, but if you're passing it, it's not, you're going to throw the ball further than, a yard, I would imagine.
That's my joke for the recap is Vic Fangio has he has a play he loves from
backwards to pass.
Yeah, has a play they love from 1 yard, but not 2 yards away.
Yeah.
I just like when you're a team who's not winning games, I am under the general philosophy of never take any points off the board.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought it was a silly thing to do at the time. And I just feel like we're going to kind of have to live with Vic Fangio making about one sort of perplexing in-game decision every week. For the most part, I think he does a pretty good job, but it seems like there's just going to be one thing where we're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, I agree. And that's something, fortunately, you can get better at as a coach. Is you get a little more experience and a little bit of wisdom making those tough calls,
right,
in crucial situations in games. Like watch Andy Reid manage the clock now. It only took him 22 seasons to figure it out, but he's got it. And now they don't really screw up in that area anymore. But
right.
you can get better. You can get better. You can make smart choices. The things you can't learn, like Vic Fangio taking a defense that is like, 8 out of the 11 guys weren't even on the roster to begin the season or whatever, and turn them into a really effective defense. Like those are the things you just can't really pick up over time from any head coach. That's like a really special talent that he's got, and that he's kind of accrued over his 115 however many years in the NFL. So yeah, I think that's probably going to come with time, hopefully sooner rather than later, but I'll take it.
Yeah, and I think we complimented, Pat Shurmur earlier for
he deserves it too.
Getting Drew Lock some, more completable passes in this game. They turned some of the short yardage passes into big gains. But if I'm going to criticize him, it's going to be so Carolina scores a touchdown. We're in the final. It took them 28 seconds to score. And then they line up like they're going to kick an onside kick, right? And Joey Sly nails the perfect squib kick that lands right at the Broncos 3-yard line and just fucking stops moving.
Great kick.
I thought Deontay Spencer did the right thing, trying to see if that ball was going to go in the end zone because it looked like it was going to roll there, and it didn't. So Denver gets pinned, right? They get pinned back at their goal line. This is what drives me nuts about Pat Shurmur. You're in a bad situation. Melvin Gordon is running the ball very effectively in this game. He finished with 5.2 yards per carry. He had 68 yards total. He was running the ball well. Philip Lindsay was not running the ball well again. And in that situation, when Melvin Gordon's better in pass blocking situations, Melvin Gordon's your better receiving back, and Melvin Gordon has the hot rushing hand in the game, he hands off twice to Philip Lindsay, and both times the Broncos lose yards in that situation. And then in 3rd and 13, Drew Lock gets his pass tipped at the line. Luckily, Melvin Gordon's in the game at that time. He catches it in the end zone, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Broncos have to punt. Luckily, the defense saves their ass after that, so it didn't matter. But that was a scenario where, again, I feel like a good offensive coordinator knows which guys are playing the best in that situation and just keeps him in the game there. That didn't make sense to me. That feels like
I think it made sense to me. I think you could argue it's one of those things you could argue either way. I don't think there's a correct way to play that situation. They definitely went the conservative route because
right,
you
which
got
is
a guy
fine.
who has fumbling issues dating back to forever versus a guy that's never fumbled in the NFL. I think you'll take the odds over Phillip Lindsay, busting a run versus the chances that Melvin Gordon fumbles in that situation, and you have a disaster scenario on your hands where the Panthers have the ball inside the 10 for the second time in the game. But it worked out.
That's actually a very good point, Will.
Yeah.
Because if Melvin Gordon fumbles in that situation, I would just be saying, why on earth, Pat Shurmur, do you have Melvin Gordon in the game when Phillip Lindsay has never fumbled? All I will do is find a way to complain about Pat Shurmur. This is really revealing about me as a human. I'm the asshole.
But you know who we have to give credit to as well, and we haven't really mentioned his name in a long time, is slamming Sammy Martin. He was booming punts all over the place today.
Oh, did he? Was he solid?
He was solid, yeah. That plus they got a really, really helpful 15-yard penalty on that last punt. So
shout out to the refs today.
The Panthers fans are upset about that, but hey,
yeah, I'd be pissed too. It's just nice to see a game where the Broncos got basically all of the calls.
I mean, were there any calls that were really? I guess the roughing the passer was
roughing the passer.
A tough one.
There's
the taunting, but
the taunting, the defensive holding that started. I think it was the drive that ended with that taunting. I think there's 2 questionable calls there. The taunting wasn't as bad as the Florida shoe throw, but
the taunting though, that's you can argue whether or not taunting like that is worth a penalty, but given the rules, that was a penalty.
I guess we don't know what was said. He flexed pretty hard. He flexed really hard. I think.
Yeah, what if he was walking over and being like, you're having a really nice game. Or he's doing the Andrew Luck thing where he compliments him.
Yeah.
But he's standing on top of him.
Flexing and saying nice things. That's how you get away with it.
Yeah.
They gotta just remove that rule. It's so stupid.
Yeah, well, they call it when Von Miller does the fake.
Oh yeah,
Tyrod Taylor. That was 3 years ago, and I'm still pissed off about it.
Yeah, we've definitely lost a game because of taunting.
Yeah,
that was it.
So I'll take it. I like to believe that my running theory is bad calls will even out over a long enough period of time.
Yeah, no, I think we both subscribe to that.
Yeah.
It was just nice. The Broncos got him today. I'm not gonna pretend like they didn't. But yeah, I mean,
go against us.
They made mistakes. KJ Hamler. Nice to see him have a big game. 2 touchdowns, awesome. 86 yards. Definitely his best game as a pro. Both of his touchdowns, he was wide open. The first one, the defender just nearly fell on his face. And what I'm getting at here is, Jerry Jeudy had 2 catches in this game. Noah Fant left early. Courtland Sutton's still out. So the things we were excited about for this season with the Broncos offense that we thought was going to take off, which didn't for multiple reasons, injuries, one to Drew Lock struggling this year. Let's say Drew Lock plays middle of the road quarterback next year, but has all those guys back. I think there's actual reason to be very hopeful. Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Courtland Sutton, Noah Fant. Albert O won't come back till middle of the season because he tore his knee up late. But
you don't know.
You never know. He could be taking some HGH shit right now, and by the time
he could be ready to go by week 17.
Do that do that really fast healing stuff now so you don't get dinged for it later, Albert?
Where they like do the centrifuge with your blood and spin it a bunch. Yeah.
Do all the good things that
Yes.
the NFL doesn't like. But my point is, today was a nice example of where I'm starting to buy into the idea that all of these weapons, if they're healthy, can be consistent for the Broncos. You know, when you draft guys like Hamler and Judy, you're guessing that they're going to be good at the NFL level. And we haven't really got to see them all play great in a single game together this year. And KJ Hamler was like the last guy where he was starting to get worked in the offense, but seeing what he's capable of, like I'm trying to be optimistic about next year because, you know, I don't know what the Broncos are playing for this season right now. But I think there's offensively, they have the pieces. Now it's just putting it together week in and week out with the right game plan, the right coaching, and the right development for Drew Lock.
Yeah, I mean, you still play for the chance that I think they're 5-8 at this point last year too.
They're great at repeating history.
And then won 2 out of their last 3.
Yeah.
So it feels like they always. I mean, the last year they came on strong at the end of the season. These seasons are like mirroring each other pretty bizarrely.
They're technically still in the hunt too, right?
They're still in the hunt. I would, there's the people that just want to lose out every game. But I think that's really, really dumb at this point when you've got a college draft where there's so much uncertainty because there's such a small sample size this last year and everything's fucked up and you don't know how you're going to recruit or anything. I would just rather take the wins at the end of the year and like look like you're building something in the right direction rather than, okay, well, we've got a pick that's like 6 spots better. We could fuck that up too. Yeah, you got Jerry Jeudy at pick 15 when people thought he'd go like 5 or 6 at this point.
Yeah, if you've got a top 20 pick, you've got a great chance at getting an impact player. So I agree. Like, if you're picking 8 or you're picking 16, you're going to get a good guy there, assuming you draft correctly.
Honestly, I think like this is the year. If you're going to trade your first round pick, this would be the year to do it. Because
I mean, and the trade the Broncos made with the Steelers to move to 20 to take Noah Fant, like that was the right move. So I'm not too worried about the draft pick. Kenneth Booker with the super chat asks, which one guy do you re-sign? D. Williams, Shelby, Bosby. Shelby Harris, easy. He's probably the best player on the defense, tied with Justin Simmons on a week-to-week basis. He had another batted pass in this game. It didn't really matter because I think the Panthers scored on the next play. But if the Broncos can bring Shelby and Simmons back, then I feel optimistic about the defense. They're both going to cost some money. And again, the salary cap is going to be lower. So I don't know the logistics on that. If you had to keep one guy between Shelby or Simmons, I think that's the more interesting question. What do you do there, Will?
Simmons, because he's younger.
Yeah, that's hard.
It's tough, but yeah, I think Simmons is a little bit better.
Maybe Simmons too, because Kareem Jackson, I think his contract is over, so you don't know if Kareem's coming back.
Simmons is 27. Shelby Harris is let's check on that one.
I'd like to see them sign Will Parks too.
And he won't cost anything. I don't think Will Parks.
You can get Will Parks cheap.
Let's see. He'll be 30 by the start of next season. So that's 3 years. Not that he can't be good for another 3. It'd be nice to get them both back. I think, unfortunately, we'll probably have to make a tough decision on Tim Patrick.
Yeah, the wide receivers, it's just crowded, but
it's tough.
I mean, he's been so important without Cortland Sutton. I'd love to see him back because if I had to choose between Patrick and Deshaun Hamilton, I want Patrick.
Of course.
Because then, like, Hamilton, you have Hamler instead. So that's a ham for a ham trade. Easy.
A ham sandwich.
So Judy, Hamler, Sutton, Patrick. Maybe you can keep those 4. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a little optimistic.
Will, I am all about optimism
What?
unless I am talking about Pat Shurmur.
Oh, that's like that's kind of the theme of this show entirely.
Yeah.
Very optimistic, except for Pat Shurmur.
Yeah. All right. Anything else from this game before we leave?
Another 4 years of dominance over the Carolina Panthers.
Yep. Sorry, Carolina.
I don't think about you at all.
Don't think about you at all. Dominate the foe, except for us. Did you watch my little change up to that?
I didn't see it. No.
Guess you're not a real That's Good Sports fan.
I was too busy drinking benchwarmer brew.
Too busy writing with me and drinking my coffee.
Yeah. Sorry about that one. I was on vacation this week.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the Broncos recap. Maybe I'll get it up tonight on That's Good Sports. Who knows?
Maybe.
What do I do to end this fucking thing?
Good
there
night.
it is. Good night and good luck. LA played without an ACL.